Green flag waves at the end of the pre-grid, and 21 junior Rotax drivers head out onto the 1,360-metre circuit here at Kartinggang. Let's have a look at the starting grid for junior Rotax pre-final, day one. After a very closely fought shootout for pole position in qualifying, Kai Gielers was able to put it on pole with a 55.091. Casper Schomans will be alongside in the 244 on the front row. Row 2, it's an all-Dutch affair with Tommy van der Stroijs, who won the 2019 BNL Micromax title. And he will have Job Briefeld, who I understand has a fan club as well, by the way. It's taken me a long time to say that, Jeffrey, from JJ Racing. I had to get that in at some point before the end of the season. Vic Stevens and Mathis Turlo round out row 3. And it's an all-German row number 4 with Farin Megger and Austin Lee. Days Dams and Bo Louet ran out the top 10. Luke Neeson and Montego Masson ran out the 6th row. Enzo van den Dickenberg, Pipta Knorr ran out row 7. Olivier Jonkers and Nick Gerhards round out row number 8. Gerhards had a technical drama through qualifying and ended up a bit further down the order than he would have liked. Ralf van der Pever and Lucky Ron Sorensen ran out the top 9 rows and completing the 21 strong. Tino Sidler was in Minimax earlier on this year, now a junior. With Romans Rodionovs from Latvia and Puck Gubbles completing the 21 strong. 13 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap set on the timer. Red lights on the gantry are ignited. So current air temperature around about 16 degrees Celsius. Looks to hit highs around 17 to 18 a little bit later on today. And it's a perfect day for racing. So it's Gielers and Schomans on the front row. Van der Stroijs, Briefeld, Stevens, Turlo, Megger, Lee, Dams and Louet. That is your top 10. They slow to a crawl coming out of the final corner. Now they're going to split. Into the tram lines. Revs rise. Are we ready? Lights are out. We're off and racing. And a good start by Tommy van der Stroijs to slot in behind Kai Gielers as they make their way through. As Breedfeld, I think, has just jumped up into third position past Casper Schomans. As Austin Lee looks to have made up a position going through turn 5. That was a great move there. And another one, courtesy of Farin Megger on his lead. It's been a little bit of a drama. That is the 268 Ralf van der Pever. It's all a bit, getting a bit elbows out. As one of the normal side of things that us commentators tend to say on a regular occasion when people are getting well and truly stuck in. But Gielers has gotten an initial advantage, but not by much, because Tommy van der Stroijs, running with Combi Kart Racing Team these days. I remember as a micro, he was running on a Paralon chassis. Now he's gone to Tony Kart. He's been running in chrono karting more recently. And he's closing in. The gap was 2.5 tenths of a second to the decimal point. Briefeld, Mathis Turlo, Farin Megger, Vic Stevens, and Austin Lee. Casper Schomans has actually dropped down, which will be about 7th or 8th position for the youngster who started on the front row. Some good initial confrontations, not leading into major incidents as such. But van der Stroijs is not. He's keeping Gielers very honest. Now I understand that, and I have seen this on the confirmed entry list for the Rotax Max Euro Golden Trophy taking place here at this circuit in a month's time, that Gielers is going to make the jump to seniors. Now that's going to be impressive to see, but at the moment, Mathis Turlo is closing on Job Briefeld and has gotten through by forcing the door open. And that's now going to allow Farin Megger to close on in. He's got Vic Stevens all over his back bumper. Kasper Schumans has got past Tees Dams. There has been a change, so I think that is Vic Stevens has made the move on Farin Mega. That is the case. They're making their way through in towards turn 9. The gap between Gilets and Van der Stroys last time around was 0.219. Gap could be slightly extended, but not by much. Ten minutes and 13 seconds plus an additional lap. Gilets still leads, but by 0.290. The gap has not gone higher than 0.3 between the top two. Turlo versus Briefeld. And Briefeld looking to try and get back past Austin Lee. Is now closing in on Kasper Schumans, I believe. So Schumans has gotten past. So it's going to be interesting how the race progresses. So 9 minutes and 37 seconds still to go, plus an additional lap. So Austin Lee is sandwiched in the middle between Kasper Schumans and Tees Dams at the minute. We go on to what is now lap number 5. Gillet still leads, and again the gap is no higher than 0.3 of a second as Briefeld sends it up the inside of Matthias Turlo. That was a perler there from the Dutchman in the 2:05. Gets himself back up into third position. Things are concertinaing, things that the gaps are shrinking now because when drivers start to battle, and this is customary in this type of racing, but as soon as two or three drivers start to battle, they start losing pace, they start losing momentum, and most importantly, lap time. Vic Stevens looking rather handy at the moment, started in 5th, now back up into 5th, and is closing on Matthias Turlo of all people, and sends it up the inside through turn 12, opens the door, and there comes Farin Mega. Matthias Turlo through turn 12, loses 2 positions at the drop of a hat. And now drops down from 4th to 6th, but he's looking to try and get his way past Farin Mega. Kasper Schumans is ahead of Austin Lee. Tees Dams and Luc Neeson round out the top 10 positions. So an inspired bit of driving from Vic Stevens to literally open the door for himself, and it opened the door up for Farin Mega in the meantime through the same corner. So Farin Mega will now try and start chasing after Vic Stevens, and I'm sure that Matthias Turlo will not let that one slide by any stretch of the imagination. 7.5 minutes to go. That's a complete lap number 6 and on to lap 7. Gap between Gilets and Van der Stroys now a 1/10.5. Van der Stroys was close enough, and if he decided he wanted to, he could have put it up the inside of Gilets. But sometimes that is easier said than done. And I just noticed that Van der Stroys, did he look a little bit sideways through turn 5? He's got that thing cornering on rails right now. Down the Europalan go the 2 leaders, followed by Briefeld, Stevens, Mega, Turlo, Schumans, Lee, Dams, and then Neeson running at the top 10. Van der Pavert has got past Krit Knoren for 17th position. Nick Gerhard's up to 13th position, past Van den Dickenberg. Now Van der Stroys is again 0.161 behind Gilets. He needs to be within that magical 1/10.5 behind, but I don't think it's going to be much longer because Van der Stroys is right with Gilets going through 4 and 5 into 6. And this is the opportunity that Tommy Van der Stroys has been waiting for. He won't go through into turn 7. He's probably going to chance it on the start-finish straight coming out of turn 12. And Vic Stevens, in the meantime, is the fastest driver out there by, what was it, the best part of a tenth of a second, 55.565 seconds. By the 2:69 from Belgium, running out the top four. And Van der Stroy's right on the back bumper going through into turn one, then into two. The momentum carry that he got through the slipstream coming out of the final corner, it was only when they went across the start-finish line did it start to accelerate his car and propel it forward, but didn't really give him enough of a chance to react to slingshot up the inside of Rilets. Daysdams looks to have gotten past Austin Lee for 8th position. So the 223 representing Germany. Now down in 9th. Across the line we go, and Van der Stroy is closing again on Rilets. And it's only when he gets to the start-finish line that momentum really works in his favour. And gap was the longest it's been for the last 2 to 3 laps. As this is getting a bit hairy here. This is 2-2-1 Daysdams. Austin Lee looks to have gotten back past for 8th position, would have used it on the start-finish straight. And now you've got Luke Neeson in that squabble. Add another 2 carts. Looks like you've got Boulouet and Montego Masson. So a 5-way scrap over what is for 8th position. This position's 8 to 12 right there. As all, there was a little bit of a touch between Luke Neeson and Daysdams going through. Montego Masson looking up the inside and has gotten through in the meantime. So Montego Masson looks to have gotten through. Van der Stroy's closing once again on Rilets. Look towards the inside, and Rilets knows this track very, very well, as does Van der Stroy's, as do quite a few of these drivers. So Boulouet actually was able to get past Luke Neeson. And there is Nick Gerhardt. Nick Gerhardt has made up a few positions. Gerhardt started in 16th. He looks to be now up into what is going to be 12th position. 3 minutes and 10 still to go, plus an additional lap. And the leaders, it has been so difficult to give you an idea of who I think might win this pre-final. But knowing Kai Rilets, as I do, he will not want someone like Tommy van der Stroy to steal his thunder. But Tommy van der Stroy will think otherwise. 2 minutes and 45 plus a lap to go. Lap number 11 completed. Into turns 1 and 2. And once again, it's getting closer. Now, I've seen that Job Briefeld is leading a train, and it's including another 3 karts. In those other 3 karts are the following drivers: Vic Stevens, Farin Mega, and Mathis Turlo. So that rounds out the top 6 positions. Kasper Schomans has gotten away from the gaggle behind, being led by Austin Lee. So number 244, just 11 years of age, with SP Motorsport. That was very, very close. As Farin Mega up the inside of Vic Stevens, now gets 4th. Nice job by the young German. 2018 Minimax Grand Finals champion. And the Grand Finals went to Brazil. As Van der Stroy's, right on the bumper was he, on the back of Rilets. As Rilets adjusted the air flap on the radiator. As Mathis Turlo getting a bit feisty, as is Vic Stevens. It's changing more times than you can shake a stick at. And Vic Stevens gets back up into 4th. Mathis Turlo nearly had an opportunity to get past Farin Mega. And Mega's back up the inside of Stevens through turn 6. There's a bit of wheel rubbing there between Turlo and Stevens. This could get very nasty very quickly. Through into 7. Stevens stays ahead of Turlo. Vic Stevens sits 10th in the championship coming into this first race. And Mathis Turlo, that was a side pod check. And we've got a minute left to go on the clock, plus 1 lap. So the pace they're running in the 55.6s at the front. As Stevens and Terrelou at it again, like a pair of petulant children fighting over the last swing in the playground. And again, it goes to Vic Stevens, but that's allowed Farin Megan to get away. Probably to the tune of maybe the best part of 3 to 4 tenths of a second, judging by the distance between Mega and Stevens. Could be close. There's 15 seconds on the clock remaining. We're on lap number 14. I've got a feeling that the last lap board might be shown this time around because we are down to the wire with the time. Last lap board on this occasion. So the 15th and final lap underway. Van der Stroys is now going to try and he's got to try and do something if he wants to get past Gilles and get the race victory. He sweeps to the outside coming out of 2. To get a good cutback going through 3. Carry the momentum through 4 and 5. Sideways again. I can see that he's controlling a slight initiated drift. And out of turn 6, Gilles. Oh, that's getting rather feisty there. Gilles puts the block on. In front of Van der Stroys. And out of turn 9, Gilles looking over his left shoulder. Van der Stroys goes to the right, then left, and then goes to the right. And here comes Job Breedveld. Breedveld could seal this one into the final corner. Van der Stroys to the outside of Gilles through turn number 12. And is he going to get the run on him? He is! Oh my goodness me! Tommy Van der Stroys pips Kai Gilles by 4/100ths of a second. I'm so excited about that one. I nearly couldn't get my words out right, but what a determined young individual. Van der Stroys pips Kai Gilles to the flag by 4/100ths. And waited until he got it done. Breedveld was there. It was 0.2 between the top 3, but Van der Stroys takes it provisionally ahead of Gilles. Let's have a look at the rest of the results from this pre-final on day 1 for Junior Rotax. So Breedveld takes 3rd ahead of Farin Mega, Vic Stevens, Mathis Turlo, Casper Schomans. Thijs Dams finishes 8th ahead of Austin Lee, with Nick Gerhardsen 10th. Luc Nielsen, Boluet, Montego Masson, Olivier Jonkers, Enzo van den Dickenberg, and then Tino Sidler started down in 19th, finished in 16th position, ahead of Ralph van der Pevert, Krik Knoren, then we got Romans Rodionovs from Latvia, Lake Ron Sorensen, and Buck Gubbles rounding out the 21 strong that all finished 15 laps of racing.